The Arizona Cardinals ran into an absolute buzzsaw of a team and probably one of the best teams in the NFC. Now, of course, today we're going to go through the good, the bad, and the ugly of the game versus the San Francisco 49ers. Let's dive right into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack the like button on this video and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. Definitely follow me on all my social platforms. Everything will be in the description below. Also, don't be one of these guys that love to hover around the channel. Just subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free. All right, everybody, let's dive right into it. Let's talk about the game, the Arizona Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, unfortunately, the Cardinals lose 35-16 against probably one of the best teams in the NFC, right? Let's be honest here, right? Now, I think right now when you're looking at the NFC, you have three teams that come to mind, right? The Eagles, the 49ers, as well as the Cowboys, right? Now, I think the Arizona Cardinal fans were drinking a lot of Kool-Aid, including myself, when we went ahead and absolutely shocked the world and beat the Dallas Cowboys. But I think we got to be honest with ourselves. The San Francisco 49ers are so much better than the Dallas Cowboys. Let's call it as it is, right? Now, where we are at right now as an organization, I don't think we should be too upset with this loss. Now, yes, this is probably one of the most embarrassing losses that we've had so far, right, this year. Now, I guess you could also say the Giants because we ended up choking that, but nevertheless, right, I digress. This loss, we knew that it was going to happen. I just was hoping that we would be a little bit more competitive. Now, at one point, the Arizona Cardinals tried to crawl back in. I believe we were like 4 to 5 point difference between the scoreboard of the Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers, but we couldn't come back in. It almost kind of felt like the San Francisco 49ers were like, nah, what are you guys trying to do, right? What are you doing, little brother? And then just went ahead and put their foot on our necks, and they didn't let it go from there. And I think that's kind of where we are at right now, realistically, as an Arizona Cardinal fan base. We are rebuilding, but I think we got a lot to look forward to, right? Now, this game, I wish it was closer, right? 35-16. It was embarrassing, right? Definitely embarrassing, but we got some highlights to talk about, right? Now, one of the biggest things I want to talk about here is that Michael Wilson, let me know in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, was this man the steal of the draft? Let me know here in the chat. This guy went ahead and went off. 7 receptions, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns. This feels like a potentially number one wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. So I think we got to be excited with what we've seen with Michael Wilson. Would we rather seen it in better circumstances? Of course we would have, right? Of course. But we got to take what's given to us. Marquise Hollywood Brown had a pretty respectable game. He actually led the wide receivers in yards. Got to give him that. 7 receptions, 96 yards. We got Zach Ertz also getting involved. 6 receptions, 53 yards. So I feel like this offense did decent, right? I don't think they did great. I think they did decent, right? I would put it anywhere between decent to good, right? Josh Dobbs had a pretty respectable game. 28-41, 265 yards to 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So I think Joshua Dobbs did a pretty darn good job for what we had, right? What the biggest X factor was in this game and why we lost as bad as we did, we couldn't stop McCaffrey. One of the biggest game plans or the keys to success or the keys to victory, whatever you want to call it, was to stop Christian McCaffrey. And we couldn't stop him. This man got 4 touchdowns on us. 3 rushing, 1 receiving. If you can't stop a running back, right, everything goes into their favor, right? Time of possession, momentum. At one point, this man hurdled one of our cornerbacks, Keitrell Clark. Like, it was bad. It's bad. It's almost kind of like the Arizona Cardinals were playing a varsity team when we're freshmen, right? It's kind of how it felt, right? All right, okay, well, I'll give them a little bit better, right? We'll go with that. This was a real heavy dose of reality for Arizona Cardinal fans, right? The Kool-Aid has been sipped last week, and I think we deserve to celebrate that win. But the 49ers are a far superior team than the Dallas Cowboys in the physical range, right? Because one thing that we attributed to this Cardinals organization was that this defense hits hard. This defense knows how to play defense, right? but I think we've got so hurt with the injury bug that it's now starting to catch up to us. And I'm not trying to throw excuses out, right? Even if we had our starters out here, I truly think that we might not have won this game regardless, but we got to be honest, right? We have a lot of injury pieces on that defensive line. Budda Baker isn't there as well. So it's a lot to really ask for this Arizona Cardinal defense to come out here and not allow what we just saw, right? Highlights was Josh Dobbs did decent, right? Did pretty good. Turnover free, which we love. James Conner had a pretty game. 11 carries, 52 yards. Josh Dobbs also did get involved with his legs. 12 carries, 48 yards. Actually averaged 4 yards a carry, so definitely that's pretty cool there. So I think on paper, the Arizona Cardinals lost because we couldn't stop Christian McCaffrey. And at one point, Brock Purdy was like 14 of 14. Brock Purdy's stats for this game, 20 of 21, 283 yards, 1 touchdown. This man incompleted or had 1 incompletion this game. Yeah, it's not going to work out for the Cardinals. Not only Christian McCaffrey, but Brandon Ayuk. Over 140 yards. We did a pretty good job with Debo. At one point, I was like, dang, is Debo even playing? It didn't matter. Brandon Ayuk took over. Christian McCaffrey took over. Brock Purdy did what he needed to do to win this game. It's kind of where we are at right now, right? As an organization, it's kind of where we're at. We ran into a buzzsaw. We hit adversity. And let's see how next week shakes out. Because we're playing a winnable Cincinnati Bengals team next week. Right? They're 1-3. They got absolutely destroyed in 2 of their 4 games, where we only got destroyed in 1 of the 4 games against the San Francisco 49ers. So it's a winnable game against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. They're going through something over there. But that's not our problem. Our problem is to get their weaknesses and expose them. Exactly what the 49ers did to us. They looked at our weaknesses. They knew we had a young secondary. We had a lot of injuries in the defensive line, and they exposed us. So what we got to do to the Cincinnati Bengals. So ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts in this game? It almost kind of seemed like the Cardinals had a little sliver of hope, and it was probably 2 minutes of hope in this game. But the realism kind of came crashing down real quick for the Cardinals. Let me know here in the chat below, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts on this game? Do you take this moral victory? Are you upset? What is your thoughts? Tell me here in the comments below. I appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day and go Cards.